We're coming out of 10 years of a military government where most people just were employed because the government had to employ people just to give people an earning. Education was free and healthcare was free, so I think people sort of took things a little bit for granted and were used to going to work and there was no work for them to do, so they just sat and did nothing. How do you then, convert generations of that into being a part of an economy? So everyone in Ghana is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is quite ripe in Ghana, but it's just the environment, just the day-to-day grind and challenges and the day-to-day empty pockets makes it very difficult for people to be creative and to think out of the box.
And there can be a lot of phobia against technology. So busy for us was a necessary intervention to demystify this whole concept of, internet, etc., etc.
There was a moment that I remember, sitting on this bus in Rio, with this issue in the back of my head. How could we germinate innovation in a place like Ghana in the same way that I had witnessed innovation in a place like New York and Los Angeles? And it just struck me that really all you need to do is to put the raw materials together. You need really to provide people with access to the services, the hardware, and the social environment, the ability to listen to what other people are saying and to have a debate about the role of technology. And that was the genesis of Busy Internet.
With the internet, the world is at your fingertips. It opens you to 1,001 clients. Like recently, you come to Busy Internet and it's like you've walked into your own office. Everything in one place. So when you finish and you're going, you've done a full day's work. I use Busy to get manufacturers. I have manufacturers in Pakistan, manufacturers in Thailand, and then...
That to me is a success story. When you see them able to develop a local industry, innovating and offering new services like that. They simply need the ability to have a decent office space and have dependable electricity, to have a desirable address where they can invite customers and potential partners, and that they can look the role, they can play the role of being a modern business.
This is not just one business, but thousands of little businesses and ideas going on at the same time. We have 90,000 accounts downstairs in our cafe. We have between 1,000 and 1,500 people that walk through the center every day. All that.
Prior to Busy Internet, it was very, very difficult. It's almost impossible to start a business. Every step of the way, there is a problem. It is hard to find a place to call your office. You'll be asked to pay, they call the advance fee. On the average, it will be 3 years.
We allow them to pay monthly rent. At Busy, we take that headache away.
Even if you are secure that A laptop will cost you 10 million cedis, that's over $1,000. And you need to buy it with cash. There's no credit systems here. You don't go to the banks, they won't talk to you.
24 hours I could come and use it. It had internet, I had a computer I could use. So everything was sort of provided, one-stop shop. I'm going to be here for as long as it takes.
And then you have to face the daily challenge of electricity. You cannot be assured of power.
Having a generator, you've got this little island here that's always on, it's always got electricity, it's always got internet access, it's always sort of alive.
But let's say you have all of this. Now you cannot register a business because it's very costly. And even aside the space that we were given here at Busy Internet, we went through some forms of training, some excellent advice coming on.
We have January here to set a column here. The incubatees, when they run into a lot of problems, then they just call me. I'm a consultant to them. We are not training them, but we are rather assisting them to overcome their bottlenecks.
Dial-up is old-fashioned technology. Africa has an image problem in the West. Technology is also an interesting opportunity for people to produce high-value work that proves to the rest of the world that, we're not just talking about AIDS, we're not just talking about war, we're not just talking about famine here, we're talking about sophisticated software development, we're talking about data processing, we're talking about the kinds of things that anybody does anywhere.
We missed in Africa the Industrial Revolution. That is why we are underdeveloped. The ICT is an evolution, we can call it a revolution. If we miss this opportunity, we'll continue to be underdeveloped. So our goal is to identify real projects that we think are feasible. Then we start to nurture them at the universities so that at the time of graduation, when we bring them to the Busy Internet, offload most of this to them to do packaging and commercialization, and then support them financially to come in and assist the private sector to develop this incubator facility. The ICT industry can only grow if we start to groom startup companies.
In this context, at this level of corporate evolution, simply providing an environment for people to get together and to share ideas is the right way to develop the continent.